Hi, Ash here from ashpopat.com. This is the sixth video in our series. I do appreciate it if you've been watching them all. Thank you very much. What we're going to be doing is today we're talking about finding your ideal customer. Now, if you followed the series so far, we should be at a stage where you've done the research, you've found the area that fits best for you and the industry that fits best for you, and now we talk about finding the ideal customer. I will go on to talk about and show you some fantastic free resources that you can find on the internet, which give you a huge amount of information. But we'll go on to that later. First of all, we're going to talk about why we find this ideal customer. Now, when we say find an ideal customer, it's not about just finding the one customer, because your business won't succeed on just having one customer, but there is an ideal customer out there. Everything is done on a one-to-one basis. Like this video now, I'm talking directly to you. Yes, other people may watch this video later. However, at this moment in time, there's just me here and then there's yourself. So everything's done on this one-to-one basis. So this is why we try and find the ideal customer. Now, everything I've done, we always have an ideal customer in mind, who they will be, what area, what age, and lots more information. I will go into all of that in a moment, so do bear with me. But that's why we try and find an ideal customer. So for everything you produce, whether it be videos, blogs, products, you have this person, you have this image of your customer in mind, and then you create something for that person. You write your email for that person. So there's always that feeling that it's personal, and that's what people buy into. It is that personal touch, that personal nature of everything we do. So what we're going to do is, if you have watched the previous videos, you would have noticed that I found the vegan area was quite strong. So I'm going to run with that for the next few videos as we develop. Sorry, I have a bit of a flu, but we'll just crack on anyway. So yeah, but I'm going to use that vegan area, that vegan industry, to then develop our ideal customer. Now, what I'd like you to do is get out a bit of paper, maybe use Notepad on your computer, Word, whatever, but just jot down a few ideas of what you think your ideal customer looks like. What age they could be in, what area, what stage of life they're in, and a few things like that. But what I generally like to do is to split it down into 5 sections, which I will put up in a moment. But then what I also like to do is name them. Give them a name, give them an identity. For me, I'm going to decide that from the top of my head, our ideal customer for our vegan niche is called Megan. She's just out of university, starting on being a young professional, maybe got her first full-time job that she's now working in. And she's probably around the age of 21, maybe probably not married, but that to me is probably where this vegan niche is probably at its strongest. So there isn't a Megan, but we're going to call her Megan just for this. Just because I think giving someone that identity and giving someone a name and adding characteristics to that help you to be able to write your content, write your blogs, create your videos, so they do feel personal. Now I'm going to stick my glasses back on and I'm going to go back to the whiteboard so I can do this with you. So here we go. You should now have the whiteboard on screen. So now what we do is we split. When we're coming up with our ideal customer, we then come up with 5 different areas. The first one being demographics. So just put that one up there for you. Now, demographics can be aren't just specifically age and gender, which are obviously a big part of it. So let's put these under there. So we have age, We have gender. We also have location, where so these should all be self-explanatory. Where are they? We can also have in there number of children, because that is a big buying concern for people, and a big buying pressure is how many children they have. So we put that in there too, number of children. Employment status, job title, and other interests. Now, if we just quickly go through these, I think the top 3, 4 are quite self-explanatory. The employment status, whether they're self-employed, employed by a large company, employed by a small company, what their job title is, and what their other interests are. Now, we're not going to target specifically these people, but this is our ideal customer. So don't feel that we're only going to be targeting a 23-year-old female who lives in Manchester, who has 3 kids, who's self-employed, running her own PR company. You know, that's not what we're going to do, but it gives you an idea. It starts formulating that idea in your mind of what that perfect customer looks like. Also, what else we put in here is their goals and values. And again, I like to split that out into 2 sections. So you have your goals, and then you have your values. So that again, what are Megan's goals? What does she want to achieve? She may have just started down this vegan lifestyle, and she wants to, by the end of the year, by the next 2 months, whatever, she wants to have made sure that she's cut out all animal products from her diet and everything she uses. And what are her values? Why does she want to do that? What is that belief behind her reasoning for doing that? And again, this all helps you formulate that idea of what your ideal customer is in your mind. So that's why we do that too. And then we have sources of information. So I'm just going to put sources of information. And this is where she gets her information and about the vegan. Again, we're still going to stick with the vegan industry, about the vegan lifestyle, the vegan recipes. Where does she get that information? And we can split that down into what TV does she watch, what magazines does she read, what blogs or websites does she visit. Who are the major influencers in that area? Who does she look to for information? So that's why we split those down into those. And then if you go through those, what I like to do is sit there and go, well, what magazines would someone who's interested in the vegan area, what magazines would Megan read, which no one other than someone who's interested in that vegan lifestyle would read? What blogs does Megan visit that are specific to that area? What websites does she visit that are specific to that area? Because again, if you start knowing where they hang out and the language they're using, this is quite important. If you are going into that vegan niche, have a look at these magazines, and more importantly, have a look at these blogs. And if these blogs have comment sections, even better, have a look at these comment sections, because then you can start seeing what language they use. And then when you start creating your adverts, which we'll talk about later, it will give you an idea of the wording you need to be using and how you need to create that message so it resonates with the person you're trying to speak to. And then we have also, what are their challenges and what are their pain points? Shall we, let me just delete this. I hope, what I can do is I can share these on the website. So if you do want to be able to pick them up, you can do so there. Let me just delete these for a moment. Okay, that's not deleting for some reason. Here we go. There we go. Okay, and then what are her challenges? And what are the pain points? Now, she may find that switch to being vegan quite difficult if she's not something she's used to. She may find that the amount of information and what she thought was acceptable may not be acceptable. It may be difficult just to make that switch. That could be one of the major challenges she faces. Now, take these pain points, for example. We previously said Megan wasn't married, but maybe she's in a long-term relationship. She lives with her partner, and maybe her partner isn't ready, isn't a vegan. So that could be a pain point for her. You know, how does she cope with that? How does she cope with being in a relationship where you have that difference of opinion? Not only a difference of opinion, a difference in the way you live your lifestyle. And that could be one of her pain points. But again, we do split these down. So we don't just put them all in one. We look at her challenges, and then we look at her pain points. So let me put those in there. And then the last one is what could her objections be to purchasing your product, using your service, reading your blog, visiting your website, whatever it is you're trying to monetize, whatever it is that you're trying to make your business. What would her objections be to that, and where would she fit in the sales process? So by that we mean, is she the primary person that you're trying to approach? Will she be the person that makes the purchase? Would she be the one passing the information on to someone who then makes the purchase? Where does she fit in that? Because once you have an idea of those, you have a better understanding of how to tailor that message. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear these off again. I hope you, and I'm just going to put all 5 up there again so you've got the information. So we go demographics again, which we start with, and then we have their goals and values. We have their sources of information. We have their challenges and pain points. And then we have their objections and where they fit in the sales process. Just make that a bit bigger so that fits on the one line. There we go. So those are the key 5 things that we look at when we're developing that idea of our ideal customer. What I'm going to do is come back to myself here. There we go. You should be back with me here. Fantastic. So what we do, that's how we create the idea of our ideal customer. In the later videos, and I think this is probably going to be split over 3 parts because I do think it's quite an important place to start and there's a lot of information to take in. I'm going to be showing you 2 of my favorite tricks. The first one is looking at current magazines and looking at what they class their demographics and see who they target with their publications, how they target, what they think their audience looks like. The fantastic bit about this is all that information is free. You just need to know where to look at it, and that is something I'll go into in the next video. And finally, we'll be looking at one of the free tools that Facebook offers. The thing about Facebook is it has so much information about all of us, which is a bit scary. However, how you can use that information to your advantage and find really, really helpful information in building that idea of your ideal customer. We will go into that in the later videos. I think that will probably be the third video in this series of how to find your ideal customer. I hope I've given you something to start off with. Do jot those all down. Do bear in mind that, again, with everything we do, we will change that as we go along. As we gather more information, that idea will change, that idea will formulate a bit better. But for now, do note those down, do go into those, write those down. We will, in the next video, talk about how to find information for free from a lot of magazines, and how to do that. So I'll do that in the next video, and probably in the third video we'll go into the free Facebook tool, which gives you a huge amount of information which we can use to our advantage when finding our ideal customer. Thank you once again for spending the time watching this video. I do appreciate it. I will be speaking to you soon. Please do like, comment and share, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the information is in the comments section below. I hope you have a good day. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.